Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing a what sold video for last week, Monday through Thursday, July 21st through the 24th, and sales were sales. That's all I can really say. I had one decent day and then the other three not so much. It was dark clouds when we got home from church today, and yeah, the rain just started. I'm not sure. We haven't figured out if you guys can hear it or not, because we've got a garage door like right here that
and a metal roof.
And a metal roof. So yeah.
They don't hear.
They don't?
No, because I turned down the background noise. It cancels it out. But you can hear thunder if the thunder's loud.
This is going out when? Tomorrow? Monday? Or tonight?
Friday.
Oh, this is next week's videos. Yeah, we're trying to get ahead. Totally forgot that, because we are going out of town Thursday to go up to New York and do some sourcing, see the grandkids, all of that.
And we're stopping in Morgantown and Pittsburgh
On the way up
on Thursday, and then Pittsburgh on Friday morning, and then Friday afternoon in Rochester. We'll do some sourcing there. Maybe some on Saturday if we can sneak away.
Yep.
And then back down through Ohio.
We've never been to any of the outlets in Ohio. We tried to go to the one in Cincinnati a couple of years ago, and it was closed because they didn't have enough workers. So we didn't get to go. It'll be interesting. That's my new goal. I actually have convinced Robert that we're going to buy a camper.
You know, I've been convinced for a long time,
I
right?
know, but you tried to talk me out of it. When we first got married, this was my idea. Get a camper and see the United States. I grew up overseas. I've been to lots of different countries with my military career, but I haven't really seen the United States. And then he kind of talked me out of the camper idea.
Because we would be driving a lot.
Yeah. But now that we're both really into like doing the sourcing together and traveling, I thought, a camper would be a really good idea. First and foremost, not a camper, like an RV.
Like a pull-behind camper.
Yes, a pull-behind. I have lots of problems with my stomach, so we would be able to cook more often instead of eating out when we're traveling. We could have a nice mattress because he has problems with his back, and when we sleep in hotels with bad mattresses, he's miserable. So
Holiday Inn Express tends to be better than the rest.
Yeah, but they can be so expensive depending on where you are. They can be really expensive.
The reason we would moved away from getting a camper was I talked to a guy, a friend of our family's, that was selling his pull-behind camper, and he said that filling up with gas is expensive, and in talking to him, if you are going to stay for a month somewhere, then an RV camper is great. But if you're going to be driving from town to town, you're going to spend a lot in gas.
You're right.
And that you would be pretty much better off staying in hotel rooms at that point.
Well, and my idea is mostly taking it down to Florida becoming snowbirds. Go down to Florida, stay a couple of weeks, come back up here, make sure my kids haven't destroyed my house. Go back down there.
You'd be like the snow, like bluebird or something. That'd be more like the vulture.
Yeah, so I'm getting excited about, I told you guys at the beginning of the year, we paid off our mortgage, and I just wanted to travel more, work less, play more, right? But part of the fun part of our job is the playing, which is sourcing to me. So, that's the goal is, this way we can go further out west, take our time, and then just do a lot more traveling. And especially because we're considering Whatnot even more, is, we could source, do a Whatnot show, ship. I wouldn't have to worry about inventory all the time, and then bringing all of it back like I do now. So let me go ahead and show you what's sold on Etsy and eBay. And then I also have two sales, in that time frame for the new clothing store. First thing that sold on Etsy was this jumbo Christmas stocking Santa Claus, 27 inches. It was a huge stocking. Y'all, the funny thing about this was When it sold on Etsy, I went to look on List Perfectly to see if it had to go ahead and delist it on eBay. It wasn't on eBay. It was just, I guess, one of those lost listings because, it hadn't been listed very long, but it was gone, which, I'm glad it, really just wasn't listed on eBay and wasn't like a duplicate sale. But this stocking sold for $22.45. And then another one of my Bluebird Polly Pocket sets sold on Etsy. This is the 1989 Wedding Chapel. Only had the groom figure. I think there's supposed to be 3 figures for this one. And it sold for $22.45. We're going to start off with eBay with another story. This thing has been listed since 2303, so March of 23. And y'all know for the last couple of years, every month I do end and sell similar. So it starts off as a new listing once a month, and every month, 4 months, I've had one buyer sending me $20 offers. It always starts at $20 on my $50 plush. And eventually I think they'll go up to 23, and they always send me a message that says they buy these all the time. Why does somebody buy the same toy all the time? I do not know, but 23 is what they normally pay for them. And every month I'm like, no. So I would decline their offers, or we would just run out of offers. And it started the other day again, the day that this sold. I had done end and sell similar, and the messages started again. The offer started again, and then it sold. So I thought, well, maybe they went ahead and accepted my counter offer, but no, it sold for full price to somebody else. And you just got to kind of chuckle that, it was worth the hassle of this person. They were very close to being put on my block list, but it finally has sold. But it was a Carter's Rattle doll with the pink bear motif on the body, but it was terry cloth arms. And I just always know terry cloth plush, especially Carter's, Eden, some of those brands tend to sell for quite a bit. And so I was just holding on that this was going to sell for more than $23. And it sold $50. This next pair of jeans is by CJ Black. Never heard of the brand. Been listed only since April. Sold for $18.37. Hallmark Jack-o'-lantern pumpkin votive holder sold for $13. Oneida Lasting Rose. These have been listed since 2023. I think I sold, the forks and the spoons just seem to go very quickly. It's these knives that take the longest, but they finally sold $13.45. This was another really nice sale. And y'all, it had been listed since before 2023. So I would have been sending 40% offers out on this. Probably Robert sending 50% offers out. And it sold for its full asking price. It is a Gund Slacker, was the name of the bear, plush. He was a big 19-inch plush, sold for full price $59.95.
Oh yeah, I'd have sent a 50 on that.
Oh, I know you would have.
It's 2 years old, 50%.
This brand is called Flying Tomato. I think this was a part of that first really nice lot of stuff that we picked up, where I got the Jenny Kane sweater. I have found out this isn't the greatest of brands, but cute little chevron off the shoulder top. Thought it was a skirt at first. Sold for $17.71. Aurora Jelly Roll purple penguin plush sold for $12. Kohl's Dr. Seuss Go Dog Go plush sold for $11.66. American Eagle women's shorts size 8 sold for $17.71. Here's one of those things we sent. Probably a 50% off offer. This was a tablecloth. Sometime picked up probably at an estate sale or at the bins. Finally sold it for $18.87. Todd 1. picked this up, I think it was at a fill-a-bag sale at one of our local thrift stores, because I'd never heard of that brand till I looked it up, and I realized it is definitely something to at least check the comps for. It was a track jacket, and it sold in like 2 months for $35.71. Fisher Price Adventure People sold for $8.05. Need to make a note. I'm probably going to take down all of my singles of these and go ahead and make one big lot and just kind of get them moving, because this one was listed since before 2023. But I like the Adventure People, but they don't sell for a whole lot. Now this is Kelly Toy Bean Pals. I think I showed you guys a lamb the other day in a haul. You may not have seen it yet. I called it a bean pal. Come to find out it's a cuddle pal. I didn't realize there's different pal series in Kelly Toy. Looks just like this one though, but nevertheless, this one sold for, the rabbit sold for $26.95. They kind of make me think of like the pillow pals from Thai, but they tend to sell pretty good for me. Aurora, another old listing. A little Black Panther. I think it must have, oh, on the tag it says San Diego Zoo. Sold for $10. But at this point, all of these old listings, at the end of the year, they're going to be gone. So anything that I can get at this point, unless it's a ridiculous $1 offer, which I got the other day, I'm going to go ahead and start trying to, you know, make them gone. Normally, in my years past, not these last few, but normally in years past, I started seeing an uptick in sales in August, because people, a lot of like, for in our area, school has started. You know, you're past all the school shopping, and now the next thing to think of is, let's start getting ready for Christmas. So I used to see an uptick in like August. It's been getting slower and slower, like October, November. Before I start really seeing an increase in sales.
I have a theory on that.
Mm-hmm.
Clothes.
Clothes.
Because our normal sales have elevated because of clothes.
Mm-hmm.
The uptick that you're seeing in the toys and other stuff we sell that you normally start seeing doesn't appear to be very much because our overall sales have increased.
Maybe. Don't know.
That's my theory.
That's your theory and you're sticking to it?
Absolutely.
Dinosaur figure lot. I think it was at the Red, White, and Blue a couple years ago. I bought a huge tote of dinosaurs because in there were certain things that I wanted, including, I'm pretty sure, my my Fisher Price pink dragon over there. So, you know, I don't think I paid, but maybe $25 for the tote. It could have been even less. And I want to say I made a couple of lots, depending on the size of the dinosaurs. And I think this is from that. These dinosaurs sold for $30. Florsheim men's leather boots sold for $49.95. I think we picked these up at a church sale for like $2 or $3. Chapmay Dragon Saddle. That's not a highly sought after brand. I think there's probably exceptions in there. But you know, a lot of people, when you talk about vintage action figures, they're looking for the Kenners and that type of brand. But I tend to find some of this stuff. This was probably in a bulk lot, but it still ended up selling just a saddle for $13. Kelly Toy Gray Elephant Lovey, $13.45. First in Maine Tender Teddy Bear, listed this back in February. There's a whole series of colors. Most of them are going to be bread and butter, like this one sold for $8.96. U2's is the brand. Plankton from SpongeBob SquarePants Plush. Sold very quickly, just listed it this month, $16.16. Mr. Christmas Musical Bell Lot. I've had this for a very long time because I think like one of the light bulbs wasn't working right. And I kept thinking I would order bulbs off Amazon and, you know, make sure that it was working properly. Just decided, just list it, let somebody else deal with getting light bulbs for, I want to say it was one or two of them. But it was working, and it sold, you know, in about 6 months for $19. Here's another set of those bamboo stainless flatwares. These were teaspoons. I had a couple of comments that people said they remember getting these, you know, I think one person said they got them from Tuesday mornings years and years and years ago. But, you know, this is the second lot of them that I've already sold. I do remember from doing a comp video that I picked these up at a school yard sale. I paid $20 for a huge tote of flatware that had these and some Oneida in it. So I've already made my money, so everything else is profit, because this is the second set that sold. Tan Squirrel Plush Pinna products, made in Japan. Cute little 5-inch plush, sold for $18.85. Full sale price, considering it was a 2022 or older sale item. Proper black cargo pants, sold for $14.17.
I like to wear that brand. 'Cause you know me, I like cargo pants or something in every pocket.
Yes.
And some, that way if I fall into water, I can drown quickly instead of trying to flail around for a while. I just don't want to die tired. But I never find the ones that I like that are thin and cooler.
The summer ones.
And then we never find khaki, which is what I like to wear. We always find the black or the navy blue.
Yep. All right, this was just a hodgepodge of miscellaneous Playmobil pieces and parts, probably from that large lot that I ended up splitting up. And I just took a $10 offer to make them gone. Baby Aspen Lamb Sheep Plush. It was an old listing. I usually do really, really well with Baby Aspen. I'm not quite sure why this didn't sell as quickly as I thought it should. But I ended up taking a $14.01 offer. American Girl. This was Gabriella's gray cat, and it sold for $10.77. This is a viewer sale, so thank you so much, Donna. Donna saw in a recent haul video that I had picked these up at the Asheville bins. These are called Choose Your Own Adventure books. My kids liked them when they were little. And they sold for $13.45. So thanks again, Donna.
Going to do the conversation starters. Name 3 character traits that you admire the most about me. And I'm going to add to this to make it more spicy.
Spicy.
And one that you don't like.
Oh, you know, you always make me go first. You go first this time. 3
Oh no, this
traits.
one's going to get personal. You need to. I need to know.
You need time.
Well,
3 characters I like about you.
See, when you answer this, my answer needs to be like, especially that one that you don't like. I need to know how hard to hit you because I don't want to hit you too hard if you're just going to give me a little gentle love tap with it.
Okay. First and foremost, everybody would have to agree. Your humor. Your humor is, you know, it's constant. And, you know, just the picking, but in a fun way that he does to everybody that he meets. So that's 1. 2, you're not tall. I'm tiny. I don't like tall men. Sorry.
That's not a character trait, though.
It is a character trait.
That's a physical trait.
Okay, well, it's going to work. You're not tall. And third, what is a third? You take very good care of me.
Well, I do my best.
Yes,
I try.
he does. He does a lot of the cooking and the cleaning and leaves me to work. So
Which you enjoy.
Yeah.
You're very hardworking.
I know.
Right. You work really hard, and you have always made sure that we had the work done that needed to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And I can get mildly distracted.
Squirrel
No,
all
that's bad.
the time.
It's bad, and she has to keep me on track. And that there's the thunder. And that you don't hound me too bad about my distractions. I don't, does that count as 2? I like that that you don't always get my jokes, and I get to watch the confused expressions on your face when it happens. That you're just like, what are you talking about? Or I'll make a joke, and then she doesn't realize it's a joke until later, or until that was a joke, right? What? How? It makes me. It makes me laugh when that happens. I'm entertaining myself. And then, is that 3 already?
That's 3.
That's 3. I don't know if that counts as 3 or not, but I'm going to put this one out there. That you have managed our money so well. When it comes to money, I know what I'm supposed to do. I've always done a really bad job of it. And she has managed our money so well. All right, now you got to hit me with the dig.
Oh, it's easy.
Yes. Well, hold on now. I'm going to have to... I was at least going to pretend that it was going to take me a little bit to come up with something negative here.
No, it's... Robert wears a CPAP. But when he sleeps, he doesn't keep his mouth shut. So I have to deal with hitting him because it's just like Darth Vader. Or clicking because, he's stopping it in his throat and then it's clicking and going, making noises. And I'm a very light sleeper. So that's the worst I can come up with is just the noise at night.
Tech.
Oh my gosh.
She is so technically incompetent. It drives me crazy. I have told her how to do some of this technical stuff, and it's not hard stuff. It's like how to add a new contact in your phone, like a dozen times. And it's like throwing...
I just hand it.
It's like throwing a rock at a brick wall. It just sort of bounces off.
Just hand it to him. You do it. These next 2 items were sold to one person. This is going to be a long video because I keep having to do stories. Both of these were sold on an offer, and there were those floating offers, and they were wanting me to combine shipping, and you can't combine shipping on those. And I just know I've probably talked about this before, but I really don't like those floating offers. Yes, I know it keeps your item available for other people to buy. How often does it really sell to somebody else while it's a floating offer? Never does it. And so not being able to send a combined invoice and possibly upsetting your buyer because then they have to pay this full amount and wait for a refund, or you just lose the sales because you can't combine. I'm just not happy with that feature. I'm not. This Kohl's Eric Carle Hungry Caterpillar sold for $8. And then the second item was another Eric Carle Yellow Duck plush that sold for $10. Thunder. All right, this was a Disney Polly Pocket Miko figure from Pocahontas. It definitely had some paint wear. It didn't look this bad close up, as a regular thing. It just really shows the wear on it. It ended up selling for $10, but y'all, literally, let me take this off. Look how little that is. Not even a half an inch. Right, some old minifigs that I had listed together. They are Guardians of the Galaxy. Ended up basically selling it for 50% off for $15. Just list these last month. It was Fisher-Price, Little People McDonald's, Sonia, which one of them was faded. One of them looked pretty good. I picked these up at that McDonald's yard sale that we stopped at a couple weeks ago. And then this Hamburglar figure was just thrown in. Sold these for $13.45. This is one of those things I will not pick up anymore. Puffkins, they just do not sell. I ended up making one large lot with all of them that I had, and it finally sold $17 for 7 plush. The other day I went in there to pull something out of my Little People bin, and this had fallen out of the bin and was behind. So when I picked it up, I even literally said, okay, it's time for you to sell, because I had to pick it up and put it back. That whole one-touch thing. And sure enough, a few days later, I got an offer for $8 for this Little People stable from 2007, just the stable. So I think that was just kind of funny that happened. All right, Hasbro For Real Friends, little chipmunk squirrel. Like I said, I don't pick these up very often unless they are very clean and working. And this one sold in about 2 months, $16.16. Philadelphia Phillies, plush mascot, 14 inches tall, sold for $17.95. Was a very quick sale. Echo red handle French fry cutter. We have one of these. I love them. We don't make French fries very often. We should. But somebody sent out a big offer on this, and it sold for $12.56.
If I no. See, I wouldn't have sent out that big of an offer on that item.
Then somebody accidentally sent out a bigger offer than normal.
Or yeah, it might have gotten accidentally tapped. But guess what?
It sold.
It sold.
It's gone. All right, Scooby-Doo Snowman plush 12-inch sold for $17.95. Fiesta Sea Otter plush with the little moving eyes sold for $9.06. I don't pick up a whole lot of Fiesta anymore, but then, you know, there, like always, are exceptions to stuff that I pick up. Gina was the brand of this plush, definitely vintage, little 16-inch bear, sold for $17.95. This sold, and then they didn't pay for it. I mean, like the same day I listed it, had to wait the 4 days. Yes, it's a pain, but it's not. It's okay. It's okay. Listed it. It sold immediately again. These are VTech sit and stand alphabet train replacement letters, $19.95. And then the last one for eBay is this Thai sparkly finding Nemo Dory fish plush, sold for $8.96. And then let me show you the 2 items that sold in the other store. First was these American Eagle women's denim shorts. They sold for, Barbara still ain't fixed my little red pen. These sold for $13. And these Amethyst, not a brand we would pick up very often, but they were a larger size 22. And these Bermuda shorts sold for $10. Right, hope you guys enjoyed this. Y'all, my hair's up because when I woke up this morning, I had some of it flipping this way and some of it, I must have slept really hard last night because I just thought, no, the hair's going up because I didn't want to wash it and we had to get ready for church. So it is what it is, but it's time to get to work, y'all. Bye.